All right, everybody, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you guys for joining us tonight at a special time. We had to do this tonight just because this young man that we're interviewing, he's very busy. He's got another appointment to go. He's already had school today. He's had basketball practice. He's jumping in on this interview, and then he's heading out to have pitching practice. So we're just happy to be able to get him in here. So I'm excited to be able to talk to Ethan about his article. And we've got, as you can see right there, that looks pretty awesome. And then the cover, I'll show you this here real quick. The cover has him right there on the very front and center. Great colors. It pops out really well. Really good article. And he did an outstanding job with his interview. And as you can see, he can get up and dunk. So we're really excited about having Ethan on the program tonight. Without any further delay, I'm going to go ahead and bring Ethan on here so we can get started and get him on to his next thing. Hey, Ethan, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You're a busy young man, right?
I am.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know if you noticed it, but there's a little bit of a difference between the hair that you have and the hair that I have. Not the hair that I
Little.
have not. Keep it as long as you can, my friend. All right. Well, hey, thanks for popping on here tonight. And what did you think about your article in Sports Locker?
I thought it was great. I think it was a great opportunity to showcase the school and why I love Fulton and why I love doing what I do.
Very good. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the different things that you do, but in your article, you talk about your passion of sports coming at an early age through the time that you spent with your dad out in the backyard. Tell us about that, and what was so memorable about those times.
So whenever I was really little, my dad was just we just loved sports together. So we would always go in the backyard. We'd throw the football or the baseball, or we'd hit off a tee, or we kick a soccer ball. Just anything sport related we were doing in the backyard, and that just really transitioned into my competitiveness and wanting to really excel. And yeah, just that's where it all started in the backyard, just playing different sports with my dad.
Well, one of the things that you guys did is that you got started with t-ball, and then moving on from that, you went into competitive traveling by 8 years old. That's pretty early. Uh,
hmm
Talk about that, and what did you learn early on while you were competing at a pretty high level at that age?
Yeah, so a group of dads also had sons in my grade, and they started up a little like competitive program that I joined it, and we were all younger than the other teams that we were playing, but it was just exposure to get us in front of this type of competition that other kids my age aren't doing. So it was just one leg that we could get in front of before the next year, and yeah, it was just a great opportunity for me and all the other kids that played on it.
Well, just from the your picture frame right there, I can see all those medals that you got in the back, and
Mhm.
we'll talk about that a little bit later. Somebody was trying to call me, so I apologize for that.
No problem.
But you got a lot of medals. We'll get into all of that a little bit later. But what has been exciting about? Hold on, I have to. I should let my wife know that my granddaughter, they're trying to do FaceTime, and we're in the middle of having this interview, so it's coming on. Getting past all that. All right. Uh, Before we dig into your high school career in sports, tell us about your mom and dad. What do you appreciate about them both?
Yeah, they've both been really supportive throughout my whole sporting career, no matter what sport, whether it's like providing lessons, driving me, because I mean, I was 8 years old. So from 8 to 16, I couldn't drive. So they were transporting me everywhere. If I had to go to Kansas City for a tournament, St. Louis, or even out of state, they were driving me, to point A to point B, and to practices too. So there's a lot of commitment that they had on their end too, in order for me to do what I love doing.
Talk about your mom. What character traits have you picked up from her, and what do you appreciate about her?
My mom is a very positive person. So positivity in sports is like key, you know, you don't want to break other people down or yourself. So keeping a positive mindset at all times is key. And I really appreciate how positive she's been through my whole career because there's been ups and downs and she's always there for me.
So mom is there. She's taking you around everywhere, and I'm sure she's making sure that you're getting food, making sure
Hmm.
that you're where you need to be. You've got all the stuff that you need. Um, that sometimes gets overlooked, but
It
I know
was.
you appreciate that. What do you want to say to mom for all of this stuff that she's done for you?
I mean, you can't really thank anybody in her or my dad enough. I mean, they've done everything for me, and they're the only reason I'm at where I'm at.
And you just said about your dad. Why don't you talk about him and how he's impacted who you are today?
My dad has always been the drive, so he would always be the one. You know, let's go in the morning. You know, let's go work out. Let's go hit on our own. You know, and let's go in the backyard. Let's throw. And just him doing that and making me do that. You know, really drove me and just practicing and practicing hard and doing everything the right way at 110%. So he's the force behind everything. He's the driver. He's the you know let's go 110%. Every rep is 110%.
And so you've got dad driving you, and talk a little bit about the impact from mom. Did it kind of complement all of that, or did she take things from a different angle?
So, I have two siblings, so most of the time one would take me one weekend and then the other would take me the other weekend. So they would just kind of rotate back and forth.
Okay.
So it was a lot of commitment on their end because, then they couldn't see each other. So then it was just like I could only see one parent and then I'd see the next one and the next one. And it was everywhere, you know.
Yeah. So who's the loudest in the stands? Which one can you hear the best?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I listen to both of them.
Yeah.
Probably Dad. I think he takes me to more of the places I'd say, but
Uh-huh.
my mom, I could probably listen to her a little bit better.
Okay. She's gonna replay this for you. No, just being able to say, yeah. Remember when you said that online? I'm gonna pull it
Yeah.
up for you again. What kind of character traits have you picked up from your dad that you really feel like are going to help take you further on down as you get out of your high school career?
I'd say competitiveness and hardworking. My dad's a very hardworking person and very competitive. So, being able to work hard and at everything, and then also being competitive along with working hard is something that I can really push forward and excel in.
Same question, Mom. What kind of character traits do you pick up from her that you know you're going to be able to carry on and are going to make a difference in your life?
Positivity, um, and always being there for other teammates, um, and just my mom, she's just always there. So just making sure I'm there for my teammates, my coaches, just anybody, and being able to pick up people rather than break them down.
Very good. What are some of the memorable moments that you guys have had as a family and things that you like to do outside of what we would call the regular sports that you're competing in right now?
Um, some memorable stuff. I would say just anything in the backyard competitively. We it can get competitive at anything we do because all my family's competitive. Just from like basketball on the driveway, football in the backyard, baseball in the backyard. I'd say, I mean, even ping pong. Just anything. It just gets competitive.
Yeah, that sounds like around here, or sounds like me growing up too. Even my son-in-law Jay, who you met when we were doing your photo shoots, we'd have a ping pong table up here, and we had some very serious ping pong battles, and it probably wasn't too good of me as a father-in-law, but I always tried to make him. I'd try to run him one way, and all of a sudden I'd run him back the other way, and then pretty soon I'd run him back over into the wall or something. So it,
Yeah,
it probably
it
wasn't a
gets
good
confusing
thing,
real
but it was
quick.
funny.
Yeah.
You say you have siblings. Tell us a little bit about your siblings.
Yeah, so I have a younger sister and a younger brother. My sister is a sophomore in high school. She does track and she cheers, so she's active. She went to state for cross country, so she has the athleticism and she's a hard worker too. She goes and she does her own stuff, whatever she needs to do. And my brother's in fifth grade. He does swimming and cross country, and he's also a very hard worker. Goes to practice. He does everything 110% as well.
Very good. So he does swimming. You
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. How did he get a love for that?
So when we were little, I mean, my mom would make us all do competitive swim. So I did competitive swim like all the way until I was like 13, maybe 13 or 14, probably. And then we had the option if we didn't want to do it anymore, then we didn't have to do it.
Uh-huh.
And I just never had a love for it, but he really loves it, so that's good for him.
Okay, so can he beat you swimming? Can he beat you in a race?
No, not right now.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. All right.
Not
What
yet.
about
Still got a
okay?
while.
What about running cross country? What about will your sister beat you in that?
I mean, I'd hope so. I'm not much of a runner.
I'm just trying to get a better picture of what Thanksgiving Day looks like. You guys might be doing some type of a Thanksgiving Day triathlon. Swimming, basketball, cross country. I don't know, some kind of a different triathlon.
Yeah, something.
You guys pretty competitive at board games around the kitchen table too?
Almost too competitive.
Uh huh. All right. What's your favorite game with your family that you guys like to play?
I mean, we do it all. We're really big on Monopoly, and then that went in. It's like we can only play a game once, and then it gets competitive, and then we just have to like shut it down.
Again, I get that. I know exactly what you're talking about. My daughter, she growing up, we would play some different games, and I would not let her win, and I would always get kind of told, "Why can't you just let her win?" I said, "Well, she's got to learn. She's got to learn how
Hmm.
to win." And
Yeah.
so she did not understand that until she's had children, and now she understands. So
Hmm.
there you go. Keep winning. Talk about your education and how hard you've worked at that, and what have you appreciated about your teachers and the faculty at Fulton High School?
Yeah. So I take education very seriously because um, GPA really matters, and so having a good GPA when applying for colleges and all that stuff, it really gives you the benefit. And so taking education really seriously to have a good GPA, that just opens more doors for schools. And so my mom always preached to take education and school very seriously.
She will again. She'll be happy to hear that. Again, you got it right here. Good job. Now tell us about the Fulton community and how supportive they've been as far as athletics.
Yeah, so everybody's in Fulton is, very, very active and very supportive, I mean, there's been times I just go to get a haircut and then, how's baseball going? How's basketball going? Or if I just see, a friend's parent in town, they ask how baseball's going in the summer or something like that. Everybody just wants to know what's going on. And then that brings people to games and, and all that stuff. So then it's just a great community overall.
Very good. Well, you've done a very good job. You've moved through this really quickly. We've got quite a few more questions in the second segment, but we're going to take just a quick moment and we'll do our sponsor break and then we'll be back in just a little bit.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, we really appreciate CNS Employment Solutions and everything that they do for this program, Sports Locker Magazine, as well as in our community. They help people find jobs that are looking for work, and they also help employers to be able to locate those people that need jobs. So Paula Benny and her team at CNS Employment Solutions, if you know somebody that needs a job, make sure that you get in contact with them there. Also, the other sponsor of our program is Big Whiskey's right here in Jefferson City, and they also sponsor Coach of the Issue in Sports Locker Magazine. And for the November-December, we have Coach Tara Dicknight of Lighthouse Preparatory Academy. And, you know, we greatly appreciate everything that our coaches do right here in mid-Missouri. And, you know, they spend a lot of time pouring into people like Ethan, mentoring them, teaching them the different aspects of the game, and motivating them to pull everything out of them that they can on the court as well as in the classroom. So again, we want to say thank you to CNS Employment Solutions and Big Whiskies. So we're going to get back here with Ethan, and you've done an outstanding job. You flew through that first part pretty quickly, just like you throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, have you hit that level yet?
Not yet. Hopefully one day.
Yeah. So, kind of where are you at? I mean, guesstimate about where are you right now on arm speed?
Well, I've hit 90 multiple times, so and that was last summer, so hopefully
Uh-huh.
92, 93. That's I
Yeah.
put in a lot of work, so hopefully I've gotten some results.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit as far as putting the work in for strengthening your arm and being able to increase that velocity. What do you do there?
Yeah, so during the summer, me and my dad, we would always do some sort of lifting, baseball related, or just agility work or mobility. Um, just overall, just working baseball related to throw harder or hit harder. And during the fall, I also went to a program down in Ashland. I went to a trainer, and he did a lot of baseball related lifts, and that hopefully is going to show out on the mound and on the field.
I am sure it's going to. We'll get into baseball a little bit more here in just a little bit, but talk about trying the four different sports and how difficult was that? I mean, you did that last year, correct?
Yeah.
How difficult was that going from one sport to the other, and how did that impact you?
It was very difficult. It was very, mental. I had to mentally prepare myself every day to, put in 100% because, the one day that you don't, it might, you might not win or, something like that. Just being mentally strong um, was very important, and it was also very physically draining for me. I didn't really get to rest that much. I still had practices. I still had late night practices for baseball. So any type of rest I could have, I needed because I just couldn't rest that much.
Right, right. So you had basketball and baseball. What were the other two sports that you did?
I did football and track.
Okay. So in football, what positions did you play there?
I was quarterback.
All right. Would you say your ability was better with running or passing?
I'd say they're pretty equal.
Uh huh.
I had to run a lot, but when I passed, I could. So I'd
Yeah.
say it was fairly even.
Yeah. Very good. What did you like most about football?
Um, I liked the physicality. You tell me to be physical, and I had to make quick decisions. So that was really helpful.
Hmm. And in track and field, what were the events that you competed in there?
So I did long jump and I did triple jump last year.
Okay. I was waiting to see if you were going to say long distance, but you already alerted me to that early on in the program that probably wasn't going to be the option.
Definitely not.
Yeah. What did you enjoy about track and those events?
I always liked jumping, so being able to go out and compete and jump, and then, it got me all the way to state my sophomore year, so I was very thankful to be able to perform um, in track as well as play baseball. So it was very enjoyable that my coach allowed me to do that.
Well, you talked about in your article that there was a quote that you said that you had to change your focus to do a few things well and give up some other things to accomplish that. Tell us about that and how that changed things for you.
Yeah, so I really liked, I like football, I like track, all that stuff. But in order to be great at something, you sometimes you have to give up stuff that even you love. In this case, I liked football, so I had to give up football so I could focus more in the summer on baseball and basketball. And I also really like track, but I also have to give that up because it was too physically draining for me. I couldn't be like my knees would always hurt or something like that, and I was just always in pain. So giving that up in order to perform better in baseball is also something that I have to do.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, you put in a lot of time. You didn't have much time for resting. I'm sure that there was different times when you might have been, battling some different injuries, and I mean that's just hard to deal with all that stuff. Wanted to quickly say for anybody, as far as you guys that are watching, if you have any comments or if you have any questions that you want to give us for Ethan, we would be more than happy to bring those up. If you have comments that you just want to say nice things about him, so he'll be able to look back on those nice comments anytime that he wants to. I know that he would love to hear from you on that. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about basketball. And what are your most memorable moments there, Ethan?
I'd say my most memorable moment for basketball would be just my sophomore year in general. We had a very talented team, so being a part of a great program, and so many talented players, it was a great time. We were state ranked for basketball. We were like 22-4 or something like that. So we were very successful, and just being a part of a program like that, it was really. I couldn't ask for anything more.
So, you know, obviously you had been impacted by your coaches. Why don't you tell us about your teammates and coaches and how they've impacted you and helped you become the player that you are today?
Yeah, so coaches have always been a big role in a part of my sporting career, just the little things, like, hey, maybe critique this a little bit and then you might get this result, or do this and then this will happen. So soaking in as much information from coaches as you can is really important. And teammates wise, just the teammate being there, like, hey, let's play catch, or hey, let's go do front toss, or hey, let's go shoot some baskets for a little while. Just teammate on teammate practicing or just something like that just drives you to want to perform and do better.
So, with with your teammates, have you been playing ball with a lot of those guys for a long time?
Yeah, so the competitive team that I played on when I was 8, that my high school team is full of that whole team. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of players that I've played with since I was 6, 7, 8 years old. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
So, how long did you play competitive basketball during the off season?
So I played competitive basketball probably all the way up until my 7th grade year, which was COVID, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of when everything stopped. And then that's where I figured out that I really loved baseball more, so I
Mm-hmm.
focused more on baseball than competitive basketball.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the goals that you have as a team and as an individual for the rest of the basketball season.
Yeah, so we have all the pieces to be a good basketball team this year. We have so many talented players and talented coach, and it just depend. It really just comes down to us driving each other every day at practice, giving out 110% every single person, and I think we can have a really good basketball year.
Very good. I want to read off real quick that you were all conference and all district in basketball. Um, what have those awards meant to you?
It means a lot to me. It means that what I'm doing on the court, like people are noticing, and what I'm doing off the court, people are also noticing, because people may not see you putting in the work off the court, but it'll show on the court, and then people will understand. So just make sure that you're putting in the work off the court as much as you're putting in the work on the court.
Ethan, you said that you came to the determination that baseball was going to be the one that you were going to really focus on, and that you had an even greater passion for. Uh, Tell us why you love it so much.
I've always loved baseball. It's just like since I was little, it's like just this something that sparked in me. Just from picking up like a little plastic baseball bat and ball or something like that. It just clicked, and I knew I loved it, and I wanted to do it for as long as I can. Um, and just everything about the game. I love hitting, I love pitching, I love throwing. Um, there's just everything I love about baseball. I love so.
Yeah. Now you've had lots of memorable moments there, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the state tournament and how that all went, and what are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, so my sophomore year, we had so many talented players. Um, we were fortunate enough to make it to the Final Four in state, and we may not have got the result that we wanted to at state, but just making it there was just such a just something I'll remember for the rest of my life. I mean, there's so many teams in the class four, and the fact that we made top four out of all those schools just means a lot. And this year, I think we can go back. We only graduated one player from last year, and we were 16-4 or something like that. So we'll have just about everybody back, and so there's no reason I don't think we can't go back and make another state run.
Hmm. Very good. Uh, you know, why don't you go ahead and share with us a little bit about your competitive traveling baseball team? Tell us a little bit about that and some of the, uh, I guess you would say, neat places that you've traveled to, or some of the most memorable times that you've had there.
Yeah, so my competitive team is very competitive. We go all over. We go to Kansas City and St. Louis all the time. We've been to Memphis. We've been in Iowa. We just kind of roll around. We play a lot of competitive teams. So being around other teams that are just as competitive as you, it just really forces you to like work as hard as you can, because you want to be better than the other team. You want to be better than the other player, and also surrounding yourself with people that are just as competitive as you can help you reach your goal faster. So yeah, and I'd say the coolest place we went to. Um, I'd say this last year we went to Memphis, and we played at like Team USA's
Mhm.
stadium. So that was pretty cool.
Is that pretty neat?
Yeah, it was hot, but it was cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it was hot. Was it humid? Humid too?
Oh my gosh, it was like the real feel was like 130 or something like
Yeah.
that. It was oh man.
All right. So we talked about my son-in-law Jay, you know, helped you with the article and all that. He's from Jefferson City, but now that he lives in Colorado, anytime he comes back to Jefferson City, he cannot stand the humidity here because they're dry out there. He just
Yeah,
he's like, why is it so hot here?
it is. It's like 90 degrees in winter.
Yeah. And, I will take that right now because I don't care for the cold weather. I'm good with that. You had, before I talk about your baseball awards, I want to quickly talk about the track awards. You had all state fifth place finish in triple jump. That was pretty impressive, and then you were conference champion in long jump and triple jump in 2024. Just quickly, I mean, you're focusing on other sports, but how special was that to be able to earn those awards in those events?
Yeah, so it was really special to me because it was like my first year back from track since like seventh grade. And so, just doing something that I didn't really do that much. It was just something different. And so, something different that I liked doing. So I really pushed myself to do the best I could. And, it showed. I was fortunate enough to go and get fifth place at state my sophomore year. And then last year, um, I could only go to districts because state track was the same day as district baseball, so I wasn't able to do track, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I mean, my sophomore year was just it was such a great time. It was just an experience that I never really had before. There's so many people there. You stand up on the podium. There's so many people just standing there watching. It was just the vibe was just amazing.
Yeah. Well, talk about that real quick. You were saying that you had um, track, you were competing in that, and then all of a sudden you had baseball. I mean, so during that both seasons, were you just running back and forth and doing both of them?
Yeah, so most of the time I was fortunate enough to where track was on different days as baseball. So, but then whenever it came down to the same day, I had to pick one or the other, and I
Yeah.
picked baseball every time. So then it came down to, hey, do you want to it's postseason time. You either have to pick. They're on the same day. Track and baseball are on the same day. Which one do you want to go to? Do you want to like hope that your team wins this game and then you guys go into the next game? Or do you want to go and play baseball and then your track season's over? And so
Yeah.
then ultimately I just went and I played baseball, and I had to cut my track season short.
Yeah. I know it's probably a tough decision, but um, you got. I mean, you can't do it all, right? You tried, but you
Yeah,
can't.
I got as far as I could.
You did. You did. I want to quickly talk about your baseball awards. All conference 2023 and 24. All district 2023 and 24. Second team all state 24. And fourth place finish at state baseball in 2023. Uh, talk about those awards and how, what those mean to you.
It just means a lot to me. It just shows that all these practices that I have to go to at 7:30 to 9 at night, it just proves to me that all that's working and that I need to keep working harder to get more, to get better, because you can always get better. And so then it just shows me that what I'm doing on my own with my dad, with my coaches, with my teammates, is working, and I need to keep doing that.
And you did a great job. You didn't even know you were getting ready to do this, but you segued right into the next one. Talk about your coaches in baseball, both high school and the competitive team, as well as your dad. What do you appreciate about them, and what are some of the important things you've learned from them?
Yeah, so my high school coach, actually, I had a different one my freshman year, and then he left, and so then we got a new one. But he's been super positive. He's been super helpful. He wants the best. He's always asking me how things are going. Oh, he was the first person that texted me once he figured out that I was going to Lindenwood. He was just super helpful, super positive. I couldn't be more thankful for a high school coach. And then my competitive coach, he just knows ball. I just soak up as much information from him as I can. He has three other sons. All of them are going to a Power Five D1 school. So just learning from him and soaking up as much information as I can from him is really helpful. As well as my pitching coach. Just anything I can get from them is just valuable. It's like money.
How often do you go to your pitching coach?
Yeah, so that started up today, and I'll be going
Mm-hmm.
3 days a week.
Uh huh. Okay. So you've got to make the trek to Columbia for that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, we're going to get you out of here real quick. We just got a couple more questions in the speed round, so we'll do that. But I want you to talk about your future plans. You mentioned that you're going to Lindenwood, and you're going to play baseball. I want you to talk about some of the things that you might be studying there, maybe a career field that you're kind of thinking about, and then what are you looking forward to in baseball?
Yeah, so I haven't quite dialed it down to what I was going to do other than baseball. I kind of have an idea of either something in business or something along engineering. We have an engineering class at my school. I really enjoy doing that. Um, but I know it'll be tough to do engineering and baseball at the same time, so I might just have to find something along the lines of business that kind of work with that. And then baseball wise for Lindenwood, it's just a whole new like environment. Like I won't be nobody can experience college twice. So being able to compete at a high level and play baseball is just an experience I won't be able to do again, and I'm just really excited to start it.
Do you have aspirations beyond college baseball?
I do. I hope that's the goal. I want to make it past there, and then hopefully Um, we'll see how long I can go. I want to
Yeah.
go until I can't anymore.
All right. Very good. Last last question as far as in this part. I want you to go any final comments that you want to say to people that have impacted you, or um, any words of appreciation, acknowledgement, anything like that. Feel free to go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, I just appreciate my whole family. They've really done a lot for me. Traveling, food. I mean, just everything. Being so supportive. Coaches is the same thing. They've been super supportive, feeding me information, just every little detail I can get. And then teammates have they're my friends. They're my brothers. So being around a positive environment is really I couldn't be more thankful for a positive environment.
That's great. Very good. You were talking about food, so we're going to just transition right into the speed round. What is your favorite go-to snack or meal after you're done playing a baseball game or basketball game?
Ooh, I'd say me and my dad we really like to go to Raising Cane's after baseball. And I don't know, it's just like that's our go-to every time. We just you can never get enough of it.
So, what is your favorite food there?
We get the box combo. We get the chicken strips and then the French fries, and then you get your bread.
You know they got that in Jeff City now, right?
A Raising Cane's.
Yeah,
I might have to visit Jeff City more often.
yeah. You might have to check out and see if there's any difference. Say, Dad, hey, we need to take a road trip and go to Jeff City and try out Raising Cane's there. So, yeah, they just opened
Yeah,
not long ago. So they're right next to McAllister's on Missouri Boulevard. So there you go.
I'm about to check
Just
it out.
just a little helpful food tip for you. uh, what's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream. I'm very original. So chocolate, just chocolate ice cream, chocolate milkshake. That's about all I'll go to. I like cookies and cream and cookie dough, but chocolate's my go-to every time.
Is there a particular place that you like that ice cream the best?
No, I mean I'll take ice cream anytime I can take it.
All right, very good, very good. What is the one chore that you just cannot stand doing around the house?
All of them. I mean, I'm not much of a chore person. I like to keep things clean around my room, so then that way, whenever I do have to clean my room, I don't really have to do anything. But I'd say one thing I just hate doing is cleaning the sinks because me and my brother share a sink, and there's just
Uh-huh.
stuff everywhere.
Are you blaming that on him more? Would you say that?
I am blaming it on
Okay,
him.
good. All right, this is the last one. If there's anywhere in the world you could go, where would that be and why?
Phew. Um, probably Michigan. I really like. My grandpa lives in Michigan.
Okay.
So I've been there a few times, but I love it out there. It's like your own little world.
Mhm.
Because he lives in like the country area, so it's just like you're secluded from everyone. You're not, there. I don't like fly fishing, so that's really big out
Okay.
there. And the weather in the summertime, it's not blazing hot,
Right.
uh, so it's nice and cool, and also like fishing. So yeah, that's probably where I would go.
Okay. But it's really cold during the winter, right?
Oh yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah. That's coming off those Great Lakes. You got all that cold air coming. So, all right. Ethan, you have done an outstanding job. Thank you for taking time tonight. I know you're getting ready to head on to your next thing. If you'll hold on here for just a moment while I close out the program, I'll get right with you. But again, thank you so much. Appreciate having you on here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and we had Ethan Milius from Fulton High School on. And if you didn't catch the whole thing, make sure you go back. You can find it on the Facebook page for Sports Locker as well as our YouTube channel. And make sure that you share that with your friends. Outstanding young man, and looking forward to the things that he's going to be doing in the future at Lindenwood. And hopefully we'll see him possibly someday playing some Major League Baseball, achieving that dream. All right, I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. We've got another great interview for you. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and God bless. Bye-bye.